here in Southern California. Pool D features England against Scotland, old rivals of course, played each other 52 times, 37 times England have won, so they've got the better in the history. Series last 5, 4-1 England lead in this contest. Both sides coming out of the Commonwealth Games. Scotland losing in the 5th place game against Samoa. England beating Uganda for 9th place. Here's a look at the sides. Joining alongside me is US Rugby Hall of Famer Zach Tess, US Eagle representative. Brilliant to have you here, my friend.
Great to be here, Dallin. It's great to see Tom Mitchell back in his 64th event, bringing all of his experience off the bench, going up against Jamie Fonda, the big hard ball carrying forward for Scotland. Scotland's actually won the last 2 meetings versus England here on US soil, but discipline's been a big thing against Scotland this year, one of the most penalized teams, so it's going to be a critical element come this game in this UK matchup.
The Scottish side ranked 12th in the series, England ranked 8th. Kieran Beattie leads the side for Scotland, the coach, in England, coached by Tony Roke. Great to see the former players represented, not just in the commentary booth, but coaching. Here come the two sides right now. And Scotland, led out by Jamie Farndale, 54th event, scored his 100th try in London in 2019. A brilliant character off the field, playing his bagpipes and leading his country for so many years. And of course, a special moment for these players. They won't be representing their individual countries on the series moving forward. They'll be representing Great Britain. So England. Francisco Gonzalez from Uruguay. His country will be in participation in the series next season. He'll be our referee for this important start to this tournament for both these sides. They find themselves in a great pool. There's Tom Mitchell, the home man who played here in Los Angeles for the last couple of seasons with the LA Guiltinis, known as Mr. Hollywood. Let's see what he's got in store for us later. He'll start on the bench. England will kick off from left to right. It's match 3, Pool D, at the 18th USA Sevens here in Los Angeles. And good evening to our viewers in the UK who are tuning in. We are underway between England and Scotland to receive. Barretto, nice skills, knocks it back to his vice-captain Robbie Ferguson. Early position here for the Scots to look to go wide. Big bump on that far side. Lee Jones is in support. Just outside there, 22. Kaleem Barretto scored one of the tries of the year. They'll be announced at the awards events coming up. Ross McCann, first crack for the 24-year-old. He's always dangerous, the ball in hand, but off feet they go.
Yeah, just unfortunate for the Scots there. They had some good continuity going. It's a nice patient attack, but as we know, the technique at the breakdown is critical in the game of sevens. You got to be on your feet. England want to test out their set piece early in this game. Probably have some new set moves coming from the Commonwealth Games that they want to test out versus their UK rivals.
They start competing at the Rugby World Cup Sevens a couple of weeks' time in Cape Town, South Africa, September 9th to the 11th. So last week's here, Tom Emery waits at first receiver. Debuted in London at home in 2019. Untidy possession at scrum time. It's been knocked on. Barretto has it for Scotland, so they capitalise early. Ferguson goes wide. Here comes Lee Jones looking for a switch. Doesn't offer the pass to Farndale. Barretto flings it towards the touchline and then one-handed back in from Jordan Edmonds. What a play from Edmonds. The only player to score 4 tries in a game in the series this year. Crossfield for Scotland. There is Farndale now. Farndale under attention, cuts back in the field. Does the 28-year-old veteran. Scotland still with plenty of ball. Ferguson, a little half gap for Robbie Ferguson. Support is just there for Scotland. They managed to maintain. Kaleem Barretto yet again, the 23-year-old. It's a bright future in the game. There's Ross McCann, sporting a bit of a Rambo tape around his head, goes back towards the grain. A long passage of play here in the first half for Scotland. Still 0-0. And now Lee Jones. Numbers on the right-hand side for Scotland if they can make this work. Still a big bump there on Jordan Edmonds. He's such a powerful runner. England do well. They match up nicely against their opponents in this game. Farndale cuts in one. Almost gets a pass away, does Captain Jamie Farndale. Ferguson again pulls it aside. No sweeper back. 7 up on D. Making it a little harder to attack with. Ross McCann, though, looking to stretch the full width of the field. Edmonds carries one more time. Getting very close is Paddy Kelly. England under pressure. The breakdown and get the rewards. That is outstanding defense from England.
I mean, wow. Unbelievable. 10 phases of defense.
And they tap and go quickly as well. Tom Emery with ball, right from their own goal line. Appian Bavadra, the 22-year-old, gets another penalty and may slow things down here.
That's the discipline I was talking about at the beginning of the game. Scotland really hurting themselves. They did really well in their early passage of play, changing the point of attack, putting England's defense under pressure, but the English just stayed strong, held their wall. Got a nice turnover at the breakdown, and now a nice opportunity on their set piece inside their own 22, so they got to be very careful. Possession is key.
4 minutes gone in the first half between these two sides in Pool D. Still scoreless here. Scotland, despite conceding the last 3 penalties, have had the lion's share of possession. Can England bust out here? Just takes one moment. Freddie Roddick, nicknamed Freddie Mercury by his teammates, hits some Stashio along, but Barreto rips it free for Scotland. The crowd come alive here. The ball over the top from Ferguson. It's a good one. There's space there for Edmonds, and he'll skip through. Jordan Edmonds will get the first score in this game, and it's Scotland that are on the board.
Fantastic pressure from Scotland at the scrum. Just turning them over, getting the ball, and then using their brilliant skill to skip that ball nice and wide for a nice try in this corner to start off this match. It was a little rusty from either side, but the pressure from Scotland at the break, at that scrum time really got their transition attack going. Great fend there on the edge on that edge attack. Little pump to see if he can get the ball inside, but a nice try for Scotland to start off this match.
Flags are flying early morning here in Los Angeles for the Scots. Sideline conversion is always a tricky one. Oh, it's over. 7-0. Scotland get maximum points here. And a good strong start. Jordan Edmonds debuted in Malaga this year. 16th try already. Making a real name for himself. Barreto with a perfect restart, knocks down towards the Scottish side. They've done really well with Lee Jones. Tackle! Such an important set piece. Edmonds, the try scorer, moves it away. Barreto, big ball to the right. Paddy Kelly played for Great Britain in the early rounds in Dubai. Flicks it up. Ferguson, such a live wire, gets Barreto looping around. That's great skills here from Scotland. Jordan Edmonds, the tank, motors forward. England just been asked to make tackle after tackle as McCann again has it. Scotland bring the energy, and it's the short ball to big Paddy Kelly. Claims to have the biggest calves on the series. We'll have to get a close-up on that later. Scotland look for their second try. The numbers here. Edmonds got the first. Tries to spin over. Held up is the call.
Scotland just starving England of possession, being very patient on attack, moving them side to side, have some really good continuity, keeping the ball alive, stressing that England defense. Just unfortunate getting the ball held up there. But the referee calling for the TMO to see if we can get a try awarded here. But just fantastic patience from Scotland. They've just starved England again and again and again. Oh, but brilliant scramble defense from the English, just holding that ball up over the try line, not giving anything to the Scots.
Yeah. There's no try held up, so 5-metre scrum.
Okay. I'll have the scrum.
Brilliant defense by England, but the pressure's not over.
Yeah. Scrum.
England pinned against their own try line, having to defend it.
Bit of WrestleMania on the line. England, side that have 1 year. In 2006, it was in Los Angeles. Long time between drinks. Barretto opens up space for Ferguson. Robbie Ferguson, the London Scottish player, has advantage. Scotland to the right hand side, they're piled. Lee Jones can't duck under the attention of the English D. They'll come back to the penalty at the 5. Ferguson goes quickly to Ross McCann, gets a stutter step. McCann, good strong tackle again. Barretto now flings it to that far side, and over they go. It's great skills in the end, and big Jordan Edmonds has his second for Scotland.
Great big ball rugby from Scotland here. They're just like, we're just going to run right over and on top of you. Great fend on there, keeping the leg drive alive, extending it, and a brilliant second try to end this first half for Scotland. Just determination, you can see it all over his face, and the pride, giving his respects. Crucial conversion here.
Nailed the first, can't get the second, but it's Scotland that are looking very strong here in this Pool D game. They lead England at half-time by 12 points to nothing. So we go into the Scottish huddle here. What a strong first half, Zach.
You know the drill.
Scotland has just absolutely starved England of possession. I mean, England has had to attempt 22 tackles, making 18 of them, and Scotland's only had to make 1. So 46 passes to 2, and that just highlights the possession. And I think that's Scotland's game plan coming in here. They know the firepower on this English side, so if they can starve them the possession, play their big ball rugby, they'll be in a good place the second half.
Apologies for any language you heard there in the huddle. It is 12-0, England trail. First game, always a lot of pressure on these sides to get up for it. Second half, Scotland lead 12-0 in Pool D against England here at the HSBC Los Angeles Sevens. A stunning morning here. 10:15 local time Pacific. It's knocked down towards England's side, bounces once and goes into touch.
And once again, Scotland starving possession of England. They've got a line out now, so there's probably going to be a nice little set piece play to see if they can stretch again that English defense.
Kaleem Barretto, named in the Core 7 squad for this season, and he's shot at every tournament. This is his 10th. Knocked down towards the scrum off. A lovely little one-handed flick to Robbie Ferguson. Takes on some of the English forwards for Scotland. Kieran Beattie, the head coach, has crafted the perfect game plan as Scotland look to go wide. Femi Sofalarin's on the field. He's electric. Good strong tackle on him, though, coming in from Tom Bowen. England can't get this one back. So Lee Jones finds his scrum off, and in midfield they go with Callum Young on the park. Debut in Vancouver 2020. Farndale can't get loose. Finds Ferguson. Down the short side. Young thought he saw an opening. Goes back to Barretto. Little dummy and a couple of steps from the maestro himself. Scotland patient with their attack here. Through Lee Jones, the 34-year-old. Still showing superb skills. Into the 22. England backtrack as Barretto sets them off again along the chain. Scotland whip it wide. So for Lauren, the 22-year-old. Well contained eventually. Tries to get up to his feet and reach over. It's not there, but big power runners are. Callum Young may have scored. We're going to check with our referee. Yes, he has. Callum Young has the Scottish third try, and they have started this tournament on absolute form.
So right, Dallin. They came in here saying, we are just going to outmuscle you, and we are going to change the point of attack, stressing you left and right, keeping the ball alive, and then using their big ball carriers to drive themselves over the line. That's just sheer determination, just riding two defenders over that try line. Keeping the ball with two hands, making sure he doesn't give away possession, getting his body height lower than the defense, so therefore he can use that big body to strive over the line for a nice 5-pointer.
Callum Young's first try for Scotland on the HSBC World Rugby 7 series. It's a very important one for his team. Barretto. Oh, he bags it again. Outstanding. Kaleem Barretto. And Scotland up 19 points to nothing in the second half. 4 minutes to go. Flashback here, beautifully off the restart from Paddy Kelly. Barretto slides down. England trying to get all over this one. Finally they do. Brilliant skill from them. As they look for a short runner, nice little step here from Blake Boylan, gets it away. Ethan Waddleton, Waddleton's beaten a couple. Barden is there in support. Of course, they just needed to force things, and it didn't work out, though.
Just unfortunate for England. They finally get their hands on the ball, turning and twisting the Scottish defence, but then just a slight handling error cost them there. There's still time left in this game, though. 3:46 left on the clock. If England can get their hands on the ball with the firepower that they have, they can make this a game.
We saw the looks of Tom Mitchell on the field as well in his 64th event.
Yes, Mark. Cross.
L.A. Giltini himself with the ponytail on the right of your screen. Great to see him back. Mitchell's been here in Los Angeles. He's been loving the beaches. His family's out here for the last season or two with Major League Rugby side. Playing alongside Billy Meeks, who's with the Australian Sevens team here today as well. Scotland with Reece Cullen, 26-year-old, to feed. 3.5 to play. Up by 19 in this Pool D. Got Samoa and Kenya along with them. Femi Sefalaran, who represented England but under the age of 18, into the try scorer himself, the big frame, Callum Young. Dashes up here for the Scottish side, gets a knee on the ground. Farndale's with him. He's fought hard this weekend as Farndale so far. Always one of the fittest players there is. Same with Ferguson. Scotland, 11th in London in the last series event. Commonwealth Games, losing out to Samoa in a tight one for the 5th position. They've done so well at the breakdown. A one-handed flick just towards Ferguson, the Glasgow Warrior. Steps one, but not panicking on the Scottish side. Again, of course, they're up by those 3 brilliant tries. Starving this English side of possession, and they get the penalty as well. Perfect 7 so far.
Brilliantly done by Scotland. They're down a man who's down to injury on the far side of the field, but have kept possession very, very well. You see, there was times where they got isolated, but they did really well to stay on their feet, wait for support to arrive, and then get down and have a nice ball placement, making sure that they had 2 men over, so that for England could not counter-ruck and continue to starve them of possession. Really, really well done. Executed game plan by Scotland so far. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left, so there's still time on the clock. Discipline's going to be a big thing for both sides at the finish of this game.
So England haven't made it past the cup quarters. Here in the US since 2011. We mentioned they won long ago, but they had the likes, of course, of Ben Gollings and a bunch of brilliant players from the years gone by. Scotland have been a while as well, since 2013, that they've knocked the top 8. They did so in Sevilla to the Scottish side in Spain, but that was the only time this season. It's their form coming into this one.
Jamie Farndale just giving those final instructions to his squad. Just how are we going to close out this game? What's going to be needed? Just talking about support, how crucial it is in the game of sevens, making sure you're never isolated, always protecting that ball. Great stuff from the captain, Jamie Farndale.
Scotland won the last 2 meetings against England in the USA. Happy hunting ground for them in this rival fixture. Sitting 12th in the series so far. The Scottish side. England. Well, Dan Norton retiring in recent times. What a scorer he has been for this English side. So all is good. Femi Sefalaran who was on the age of 20. We mentioned he was played for the English side, English Sevens. He switched to Scotland, former soccer player as well with Crystal Palace. He's got great header match as well, does the speedster. 19 nothing. We resume live play. This is Pool D action. I'm Dallin Stanford alongside the great Zach Test, US Rugby Hall of Famer, and third all-time top try scorer for the US Eagles in the Sevens game. Sunny Southern California, welcome you to this two-day finale in HSBC World Rugby 7 Series as Sofa Lauren looks for a beautiful offload on that far side. It's there for Scotland. Patient. They pull it back in support. Kelly goes across field to Fondale. Great British winger as well. Finally, England will take possession here in the second half. They've seen very little of it. So they tap and go quickly. Max Clementson gets it away. Mitchell in midfield. The kick is being charged down. Freddie Roddick was the one that put it up, and Scotland again have it. So very limited stuff here for this English side. Mr. Hollywood with a big tackle there. Tom Mitchell. Kelly, double skip pass. Femi Sofalarin at a standing start. That's electric feet from the Scotsman. Lots of dance moves early on. Wow. How many cups of coffee has he had to get things going here? Scotland with Paddy Kelly playing keep away. Harvey Elms on the field now. Fairly isolated. So Mitchell goes quickly for England. Down by 19 into the final minute. Will Homer eludes one. And then Scotland get it at the breakdown, but holding on first.
Just a little scrappy from England here. They had possession early on, but decided to kick it away. Not really sure what the game plan is here. Possession is going to be very, very key, especially with time running out on the clock.
England will be very disappointed in this opening game as Freddie Roddick tries to make something happen in the last few moments. They'll look to rebuild and reload before they play Samoa and Kenya. Flat ball, couple of runners come in, and Bavadra's one of them, the 22-year-old. Homer, lovely footwork from Homer, beats a couple, including his own man as well, opens up space on that far side. England will get a consolation try from Callum Randall on the right-hand side.
Yeah, just a little too late here for England. They got possession of the ball, had some really good feet in the middle of the park to open up the edge and get a consolation try to end this match. Really good feet from number 12 here. Brilliant left foot step, just putting his defender on ice skates, making his own teammate going, "Where are you going, pal?" But a brilliant ball over the top for a nice 5-pointer in the corner.
Callum Randall, debuted in Cape Town 2019, has his name here in the books. Full score, it's Scotland victorious in this opening pool clash, but 19-5 against England.